Welcome back to Anigo, where we deliver anime recaps on the go, giving you the best of your favorite series in under 30 minutes. Today we'll look into the mind-forking world of Attack on Titan, a universe where Titans are the predators, and our main characters get shot around other places on Earth. Not until one specific man named Eren Yeager finds out about other people's existence and the degradation of the Shiganshina people, and thinks, oh, I must deal with this discrimination by ending everyone. And so he did. I will be covering all the seasons available in the anime and unveiling the most twisted plot there is in anime history. So let's dive into this dark story of Attack on Titan. So it all starts on a breezy day in Shiganshina, inside Wall Maria. Our main character, Eren Yeager, wakes up from a nightmare. After a quick chore run, Eren bumps into Mr. Han, the local drunk, who's greeting the returning scouts who have been through hell. Back home, Eren's dad is about to leave, but Eren's decision to join the scouts makes his mom furious. Eren bolts and meets up with his buddy Armin, and they chat about how the walls have kept humanity safe for centuries. But then, bam! A massive titan shows up and kicks the wall, sending everyone into a panic. Eren rushes to his mom, only to see her trapped and eaten by the infamous smiling titan, while Mr. Han saves Eren and the others. As people try to flee to the next wall, the armored titan crashes through, forcing everyone to retreat to Wall Rose. With overcrowding in Wall Rose, a desperate mission to reclaim Wall Maria ends in disaster, killing off many, including Armin's parents. Now orphans, Eren, Armin, and Mikasa join the 104th Cadet Corps. Eren struggles with the training gear, but Reiner helps him out, and 2 years later, they all graduate and pick their paths. Eren, of course, chooses the scouts, along with Armin, Mikasa, Bertolt, Reiner, and the others. Just as they're starting their first assignment, the same giant titan from years ago reappears and wrecks the wall again. Eren is ready to fight, but the titan vanishes, leaving chaos in its wake. As the titans flood in, Eren sacrifices himself to save Armin from being eaten, but gets swallowed instead. Meanwhile, Mikasa has a flashback to when Eren's family saved her after her parents were murdered, cementing her dedication to protecting Eren. She almost loses hope after hearing about Eren's fate, but then a mysterious abnormal titan shows up and starts fighting other titans. It saves her life. Turns out this titan is Eren himself. After Eren emerges from the titan's body, he's imprisoned by the military police, who are suspicious of his titan powers. Levi and Commander Erwin step in, convincing the brass to let Eren join the scouts for a mission to retake Wall Maria. Eren's first real test comes during the 57th Exterior Mission, where the scouts use a formation to avoid regular titans. But things get wild when they encountered an intelligent female titan who seems to be after Eren. The scouts lure her into a trap, but she's tough. Using her hardening ability to fend off attacks, after a lot of casualties, Eren finally decides to fight her as a titan, but she nearly takes him out before Levi intervenes, injuring the female titan enough for them to retreat. Back at the wall, Eren is ordered to surrender, but Armin and the others suspect the female titan is actually Annie from the military police. They set a trap for her, but Annie transforms and all hell breaks loose. Eren eventually transforms and engages Annie in an epic titan battle, causing massive destruction. Just as they're about to take her down, Annie encases herself in a crystal-like shell, avoiding capture. In the aftermath, Commander Erwin is questioned for the heavy losses, but he argues that Eren's titan powers are crucial for humanity's survival. Meanwhile, Annie is kept under close watch, frozen in her hardened shell, as the scouts prepare for their next move. So right after Eren's epic showdown with Annie, the scouts make a shocking discovery. There are titans inside the walls. Pastor Nick, who's clearly losing it, starts yelling about keeping the titans' faces out of the sunlight. Hangi tries to get more out of him by dangling him off the wall, but no luck. Now 12 hours earlier, Sasha and Connie are sent to check out a possible breach near Connie's hometown. They split up. and Mickey ends up getting brutally killed by a talking beast titan, who commands other titans like a boss. Sasha rushes home to warn her village, but only has time to save one girl before reuniting with her dad. Connie, on the other hand, finds his hometown completely empty, except for a titan that eerily resembles his mom. Creepy, right? Meanwhile, Krista and Emir's group find no breach and end up taking shelter in a spooky castle with some weird drinks only Emir can read. Back at camp, Armin has a light bulb moment, suggesting the walls might be made of hardened titan skin. Cue the idea that Eren could seal the Wall Maria breach himself. Pastor Nick finally spills some tea to Levi, revealing the church has been watching Krista closely. As Christina and Emir's group get surrounded by titans, the elite scouts swoop in to save them. But then the beast titan shows up again, climbing the wall like it's no big deal. Out of nowhere, Emir transforms into a titan to protect everyone. Flashback time, we learn Krista, aka Historia, is actually a noble's illegitimate daughter hiding in plain sight. Emir's titan form buys enough time for reinforcements, and she eventually collapses in Historia's arms, revealing her real name. Back in the present, Rainer casually drops the bomb that he and Bertolt are the armored and colossal titans, and they're here to destroy humanity. Eren, of course, refuses to go with them, so a massive titan brawl breaks out. The scouts chase after them, but they manage to kidnap Emir during the escape. Emir then drops her own backstory. She wandered as a titan for 60 years before becoming human again. In the end, Emir decides to stick with Rainer and Bertolt to protect Historia. The scouts finally catch up, leading to a massive battle where Commander Erwin loses an arm. Just when things seem hopeless, a smiling titan, the same one that killed Eren's mom, shows up, triggering Eren's trauma. But in a twist, Eren unlocks a new power to control nearby titans, using them to take down the smiling titan and give the scouts a chance to escape. Emir eventually chooses to go with Rainer and Bertolt, leaving Historia behind. Meanwhile, rumors of a breach in Wall Rose spread, causing mass panic and forcing people into underground shelters. The scouts further investigate Connie's hometown and realize the titans might actually be the transformed villagers. We're left on a cliffhanger as a blonde guy emerges from the Beast Titan, clearly the mastermind behind all this chaos. Before we dive deeper into this dark journey and the intense battles that await, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Anigo, and ring that bell icon so you never miss a recap. We were just going deeper into Attack on Titan, so buckle up your ODM gear. Levi's squad, now with Eren and his cadet buddies, is hiding out in a remote cottage where Hanji is testing Eren's Titan powers. Things go south fast when they find out the military police might be trying to take down the Survey Corps and keep Titan secrets buried. After a tip-off, Levi decides that they need to ditch the hideout just before the police show up. Back in Trost, the scouts get into a showdown with Kenny the Ripper and his crew, leading to a wild battle where they lost Eren and Historia. Meanwhile, Erwin's planning a coup against the corrupt government, aiming to put Historia on the throne. Levi's squad infiltrates the Reyes estate to rescue Eren and Historia, but it gets messy when Rod Reyes turns into a massive titan. They eventually take him down with a clever trap, and Historia becomes the new queen. In the aftermath, the scouts prepare to retake Wall Maria. Eren refines his titan abilities, and tensions rise as the mission looms. By the end, they're ready to face whatever's waiting for them outside the walls. So Historia makes a big move by deciding the people of Paradis need to know the truth about the Titans, which has been hidden for a century. Turns out, the whole breach of the wall by Titans was part of a plan by Marley, a nation outside the walls. This news hits everyone differently, with mixed reactions all around. At a ceremony to honor fallen soldiers, Hitch talks to Flock, who praises Marlowe as a hero, but then Flock stirs the pot by questioning why Armin was chosen to get the serum over Erwin, a decision that's still controversial among the survivors. When Historia hands out the medals to the 9 survivors, Eren touches her hand and suddenly gets flooded with memories of the royal family, hinting at some deep Titan blood connection. Fast forward a year after the Trost District attack, the Titans in Wall Maria are wiped out, and people start rebuilding their lives. 6 years after Wall Maria fell, the Survey Corps is back in action, exploring beyond the walls. They stumble upon a Titan that can't move because it has tiny limbs, realizing they're near the area where Marley turns Eldians into Titans. Finally, they reach the ocean, seeing it for the first time. Everyone's having a blast, but Eren, being Eren, can't help but think about how their true enemies are across the sea. He wonders if killing all those enemies would finally bring them freedom. So while they found the ocean, the search for freedom is far from over. After their defeat on Paradise Island, Marley shifts focus to a new war against the Mid-East Allied forces. They've put the Founding Titan mission on pause. In the final battle at Fort Slava, Marley sends out their Eldian soldiers, including warrior candidates like Falco, Gabi, and Colt. Gabi, being a total badass, takes out an armored train with grenades, opening the door to Marley's Titans to wreck the fort. Zeke, in Beast Titan form, ends the war by destroying the Allied fleet. Marley wins, but realizes they've got to get back on the Founding Titan hunt because the world's got some new anti-Titan weapons. Back in Marley, Zeke pitches a plan to reclaim the Founding Titan, revealing that Paradise Island likely controls at least 2 Titans. There's a tension among the warriors, especially between Raynor and Galliard, and some heavy flashbacks to their mission on Paradis, which was a total nightmare for Raynor. He even contemplates on ending his own life, but pulls back, deciding to live for the younger candidates. As Marley prepares to attack Paradis, Eren secretly infiltrates Marley, striking during a big festival. He turns the tables by transforming into the attack titan and taking out Willy Tiber, the guy who just declared war on Paradis. The battle that follows is brutal, with Eren even gaining the Warhammer Titan's powers. The Survey Corps, including Armin, Mikasa, and Levi, join the fight, but it's a bloodbath on both sides. Eren's actions shock everyone, and after a fierce battle, the Survey Corps barely escape, with some heavy losses. Gabi, a young warrior candidate, kills Sasha, one of the Survey Corps' best soldiers, sparking even more conflict. The story ends with tensions high, as Eren's rogue actions create a rift within the Survey Corps, and the fate of both Marley and Paradis hangs in the balance. So, Levi's found nearly dead, but Hanji uses the chaos of Zeke's bizarre resurrection, thanks to a mysterious girl in the paths, to escape with him. Meanwhile, chaos is brewing in Shiganshina. Marley launches a surprise attack, and Eren faces off against Raynor and Porco. Using the Warhammer's powers, things get intense when Marley's new anti-Titan tech puts Eren on the ropes, and the Jaegerists suffer heavy losses. Onyankopon frees the imprisoned Survey Corps members, who reluctantly decide to help Eren despite their doubts about his intentions. As the battle rages, Zeke arrives as the Beast Titan and wreaks havoc, only to be taken down by Marley's new weaponry. But just when it seems like all is lost, Eren's severed head lands in Zeke's hand, sending Eren's consciousness into the paths, where he faces off against Zeke and discovers the true history of Ymir and the Titans. Eren convinces Ymir to choose her own path, triggering the rumbling, releasing thousands of colossal Titans from the walls. Eren declares his plan to wipe out all life beyond Paradis, shocking both his allies and enemies. In the midst of this, Annie breaks free from her crystal. Falco transforms into the Jaw Titan, and a desperate battle unfolds at the port as the Survey Corps and their Marleyan allies try to stop Eren's genocidal march. In the end, Eren's actions divide everyone, some ready to fight him, others questioning if he can be stopped at all. And as the rumbling begins its deadly march across the world, the stakes couldn't be higher. The rumbling is in full force, with the Wall Titans wiping out countless people in Marley. Eren, during a past visit to Liberio, knew he was destined to kill everyone there, but still saved Ramsey from a beating. Eren, filled with regret, apologizes to Ramsey, lamenting that the world isn't what he imagined and admitting he wished to destroy it all. In the present, the rumbling marches on, and Eren reaches out to Armin through the paths, asking if he shares his sense of freedom. Before Armin can respond, he's snapped back to reality on a ship headed to Odia, where he sits with Annie. Annie thanks Armin for visiting her while she is trapped in the crystal, and Armin confesses his feelings for her, but struggles with the guilt of his actions. The scouts and warriors arrive in Odia to prepare a flying boat, but Annie, believing her father is dead, chooses not to join them. Yelena reveals that Eren is likely heading to Fort Salta, where Marley's airships are stationed. As the flying boat is prepped, Flock attacks, damaging the fuel tank and delaying their escape. Hanji sacrifices herself to buy time, holding off the Titans and passing command to Armin. The team takes off, mourning Hanji's death. While Armin hopes for a peaceful resolution with Eren, however, Eren pulls them into the paths, making it clear that if they want to stop him, they'll have to fight. Meanwhile, a train of Eldian refugees arrives at Fort Salta, hoping to escape on airships, only to find them already in the sky. The Marleyan commander announces a bombing run on the founding Titan, but Eren's Beast Titan destroys the airships, killing everyone on board. The scouts and warriors land on Eren's ribcage, but the Beast Titan they encounter is just an empty shell. Zeke is nowhere to be found. Armin gets captured by a Titan's mouth as countless Titan replicas, created by Ymir Fritz, appear to protect Eren. The scouts scramble to rescue Armin, while Peak tries to use explosives to decapitate Eren's Titan, but is stopped when her car Titan is taken out by a Warhammer Titan replica. The battle intensifies with a Colossal Titan replica attacking Rainer's armored Titan, and scattering the scouts. Just when things seem grim, Annie and Gabby, riding Falco's new flying Jaw Titan, rescue the team. Levi splits them into groups to save Armin and attack Eren Snape. Meanwhile, the Marleyan military at Fort Salta, inspired by Falco's Titan, is distracted by the arrival of Eldian refugees. Jean and Rainer join Peak to blow up the founding Titan's head, but a glowing centipede creature emerges, trying to reattach it. Armin tries to use his Colossal Titan's power to stop it, but fails as the creature heads toward Fort Salta. Falco returns to the refugees, but the centipede turns some into Titans to defend itself. In the final showdown, Levi and Mikasa confront Eren. Levi uses a Thunder Spear to expose Eren's real head inside the Titan's mouth, and Mikasa enters to behead him, ending the rumbling. Eren's death frees Ymir from the paths, turning all remaining Eldians back into humans. Armin recalls a suppressed conversation with Eren, where Eren reveals he initiated the rumbling to ensure his friends' safety and elevate them as heroes. With Eren gone, Armin takes the blame for his death, allowing Mikasa to bury Eren's head on Paradis. 3 years later, with most of humanity gone, Paradis is now dominated by the Jaegerists, while the surviving scouts and warriors work as peace ambassadors. Mikasa, sitting by Eren's grave under the tree from their childhood, reflects on their past and thanks Eren as a bird lifts her scarf. Alright, so we kick things off in the peaceful walls of humanity, where we meet our main trio, Eren, Mikasa, and Armin. Life's pretty chill, but then, boom! The Colossal Titan decides to crash the party. Talk about an uninvited guest, right? The Titans are out for blood, and suddenly our heroes are thrust into the chaos. Titans everywhere, destruction, and trauma. This is the arc that started everything, the start of the end. So after seeing the horror of Titans firsthand, Eren, Mikasa, and Armin decide to get some serious training and join the 104th Training Corps. Here they meet new faces, learn the ropes of soldier life, and face the tough realities of their new world. This arc is all about growing, bonding, and preparing for the battles ahead. Fast forward a bit and our heroes have just graduated from the 104th Training Corps. But instead of a peaceful transition to adulthood, they get thrown into a full-blown Titan brawl at Trost District. Guess who shows up? Yep, the Colossal Titan's back. And this time, it's personal. Eren discovers he got some crazy powers hidden inside him, Can he harness them and turn the tide in humanity's favor? The stakes are higher than ever. Okay, things get super intense here. Eren and his pals are now part of the elite Levi squad, heading out on a scouting mission beyond the walls. But guess what? There's a new mysterious titan on the loose. And it's not just any titan, it's a female titan. Eren and crew have to navigate this treacherous terrain to uncover secrets that could change everything. Now, imagine finding out there are titans hiding inside the walls. Not just one or two, but the whole wall is actually titans. The 104th Training Corps is thrown into a fierce battle. And if things couldn't get crazier, there's a traitor in their midst. The walls are now in chaos, after a shocking murder and a kidnapping attempt. Erwin and the Survey Corps have had enough of the corrupt government and are ready to make a move. This arc is all about rebellion, strategy, and trying to expose the truth behind the curtain of power. Peace might be returning, but it's short-lived. The Survey Corps gear up for an expedition to Shiganshina, their old stomping grounds. They've got new weapons and a plan to reclaim lost territory. But guess what? Their enemies are waiting, and the battle is going to be one for the history books. Now, we're crossing the sea to Marley, where things are heating up. Marley's military is having a tough time maintaining control with the Titans losing their grip. They need the Founding Titan to stay on top, and guess who's got it? Eren Yeager. Meanwhile, Rainer Braun and the other warriors are gearing up for a big showdown. And finally, the epic conclusion. Eren's attack on Liberio has put Paradise Island in the crosshairs. The Survey Corps returns home only to face internal betrayal and an external threat from Marley. A new Eldian empire is on the rise, and Marley is prepping a massive counterstrike. It's a multi-front battle for survival and the future of Paradise. Everything comes to a head in this epic finale. As Eren and Zeke trigger the rumbling, all humanity beyond Paradise Island will meet their fate, under the foot of the 100 colossal titans led by Eren. He has been waiting for this moment to come, thinking that it's the only way to solve the problem. However, Armin thinks otherwise, and even though they've been buddies since childhood, things have changed ever since that day. The worst part about this is the fact that only Mikasa could save humanity by sacrificing her one true love. That's it for sticking with us into Attack on Titan's twisted universe. From getting traumatized as a kid to ending racism in the most brutal way possible. Which side were you fighting on? Eren or Armin? If you enjoyed this recap, drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and let us know in the comments what anime you'd like us to cover next. Don't forget to ring the bell so you're notified when our next video drops. Thanks for watching, and see you next time on Anigo, anime recaps on the go.